CKB has spent the last 20 plus years to get to the top of the fight world. We've trained fighters like Israel Adesanya and Alex Volkanovski to become champions of the world. We've trained numerous fighters to become top 15, top 10 and top 5 in the world. We're always looking for new blood, the young and the hungry, the next UFC superstar.
I haven't had any other hobbies aside from martial arts since I was 7 years old. I just love it. It's just what I want to do with my life.
I've always had people in my life that have doubted me, you know? I always hold a chip on my shoulder of like, I'm gonna prove you guys wrong. I want to be the best that I possibly can be. That's something that motivates me every morning to get up and just keep going.
I think it goes without saying, I want to be women's flyweight champion of the world in the UFC. If I want to create a legacy for myself.
I'm about 2.5 weeks out, so I have this week and next week, and then fight week. I'm fighting upper weight class at featherweight, so I'm not as malnourished as I usually am. I usually fight at 62, which is bantamweight, but I don't think there was really any bantamweights too keen to fight. I eat pretty outrageous amounts of food, but as soon as I cut out all like the bullshit, all the pies and stuff, it drops down real quick, so it's not going to be a hard cut at all. In MMA, I'm like 3-0 as an amateur. It has been real hard to find opponents for MMA fights. Like last year, I only had one MMA fight, and then I spent the rest of the year just kickboxing. I think the wrestling is what scares most people away. I started wrestling when I was 10. I'd run to the gym, I'd train at 5 a.m, and then straight from school, catch the bus back to the gym. You know, all day, every day, I was just training. Like I made the NZ team for wrestling to go to Oceanias, and then I started really like saying that the Olympics was a goal of mine. I've been competing and winning basically my whole life.
Nixon would be considered what they call a prospect in MMA, as someone who has an extreme amount of potential because he's done martial arts from a very young age, and he has a bit of a pedigree there because his family is a family of martial artists. So obviously he's got his dad who's a black belt, his mum who's had fights and is also a brown belt in jiu-jitsu.
Hustle! Hustle, hustle, hustle!
Spider is probably the hardest thing that we have to do while in camp. We gas out all our muscles with exercises, and then we're just getting beat up for the rest of the round by fresh partners every 30 seconds.
Up, get into him, get into him, get into him, get into him!
Like a fight simulator, but it's if the fight's gone bad.
Come on, work.
The first one is always the worst, especially if you've been out of camp for a little bit, you're a bit unfit. Makes you realize like, damn, I'm in camp, I need to lock in, you know? And then from there, they're all just the same. They're all just bad.
Appreciate it. I know I said before that the first spider camp is the hardest one. I fucking lied. That was probably the hardest one I've had so far. And I haven't been that fucked up after a spider. Probably just sit down and chill for about 10 minutes before I drive home. I'm a bit too dizzy to be driving right now. Yeah, it's pretty tough.
So the lifestyle that I led before martial arts was completely different. It was a party lifestyle. I reckon I would have considered myself a drink dog. Obviously, I'm very, very blessed and very lucky to be able to live this life, but some days are super testing. Sometimes just waking up really, really sore, really fatigued, and like you haven't got enough sleep the night before, and then knowing that you're just about to put your body through a whole another day of exactly the same thing. So I woke up at 5, because during camp, to get the weight down, I do fasted cardio, which has like been a massive game changer. And then 9 a.m. for just the team training. And then 10:30 we'll have some more drills. And then finish up here around 11:30. That's when I'll head home. Tuesday's the only day I don't come back here for the evening because I have work. I'd like to say I've gotten better with my out-of-camp nutrition, but fuck, I go up to like 65, 66. I have a massive sweet tooth, so the cookies are like my kryptonite.
And then as you see the guy stepping in, that's a great opportunity. You could just numb him with level changes, so to constantly be changing your level. Fighting is a huge sacrifice. These guys, they're not living like other people their age are. There is no going out on the weekends. There's no catching up with your friends after work. These guys are putting it in every day. There's a session in the morning, there's a session in the afternoon, there's strength and conditioning work, maybe they're dieting. They're sacrificing a lot to be in this position.
Like, you need to remember that I've been waiting like my whole life to be in this, so it's hard, but it's like the kind of hard that I would prefer.
That's good.
Hard as sitting at a customer service desk all day, taking 70 calls, being like, where's my post? Where's my package?
Making my move from BMX to MMA was one of the hardest things I had to do. I came from being a world champion, coming to a sport where you're absolutely nothing and you had to start from square one. This session is called VO2 Max, and basically it's wrestling for 5 times 5 rounds straight.
Straight away, boys, straight away, on them time.
You've got a partner and basically you guys are just killing each other for 5 rounds straight. That's cool because you kind of go into that state of like what it's like before you fight.
Got 45 seconds, let's work.
And I get to just soak it all up and learn all the fundamentals and stuff, and then some fine-tuning stuff for my fight that's coming up.
Time, let's go, kicking. Maynard's obviously a guy who has been developing pretty quickly. He's the guy that you can kind of show something to, and he's pretty quick to apply it. Being a professional from a young age in another sport, I think, is incredibly beneficial.
Gate drops and say Peel got it right out of the inside, so did Hughesy.
I think I was 7 years old when I first discovered the first BMX track. I instantly just grew a passion for it.
We basically took him up to a local track and you pay a couple of dollars and you jump on a bike to see if you like it and stuff, and Maynard liked it.
But Peel, he's going to lead them down the third straight. Maynard Peel.
The events were like a full day, so we'd normally be up by 6, travelling.
They had a Worlds here in New Zealand. There was a couple of Americans that were over here, and they actually got in contact with Maynard, and it's like, oh, this guy wants to fly me over to America and race over there. He was only 14 at the time. And I'm going, slow down.
Here we go, Alex Stug is being laid out of the gate.
I was like, well, we live in South Auckland, why not give him the chance? He lived and breathed it. They travelled every weekend all over the States, you know.
I was going to do a tour in Europe in 2018 to qualify to get into the Olympics in 2020. But I just remember being over there and I was thinking about fighting. While I'm supposed to be prepping for a World Cup race, the night before, I'm setting up my camera. Zero form, but I'd just be shadow boxing him. I would watch Israel's fights and I would try and mimic what he's doing in the fight. Finally built up the courage to tell my mum and dad that I actually wanted to fight.
He sat my wife and I down and he's like, I'm gonna throw it in. I want to be a fighter.
Camp's gone real smooth, like no injuries, no nothing. Ideal camp, pretty much.
Like if he tries to do something like, that's going to be like your best protection, rather than take some chances with just having your hands up.
So tomorrow I'm fighting on Supremacy Fighting Championship. I'm having an MMA fight at featherweight, so I'm going up a weight class. My opponent is coming down from lightweight. I think I'm the more skilled fighter, but the weight difference should balance things out for him, so it should be a good, tough fight, I reckon.
Supremacy originally, when I was a young fella fighting Muay Thai, it was the big MMA show in New Zealand. It was the show to fight on. That was when MMA was kind of just starting up. Obviously, the likes of Kai Kara France, Israel Adesanya, Dan Hooker have all fought on these shows. The young gun, Nixon Suttons, I do very much like this young fella. These kids these days aren't like when we were fighting. These kids are well-rounded. He's a well-rounded striker, well-rounded wrestler. These guys are going to be elite level, you know? So I'm happy that we can see them here locally while we can.
It's just excitement, really. I don't let like the bad thoughts creep in. I've just been competing for so long and prepared for so many tournaments and competitions that it's pretty second nature to me now. I'm used to training all the time, I'm used to training hard, and I'm used to that like leading into a fight. I trust in myself, I trust in my coaches, and if I just stick to the program, I do the extras, I do what my coaches tell me, I know that I'll be the best version of me come fight night.
Get that wavy lead hand. Get that lead hand out there. Go behind. Go behind. Let's get riding time now. Riding time.